TYT Sports, we're talking boxing as always with Britton Hart and Robert Exel. Hold on, before we go to any other shot. Yeah, baby. Right there. Okay, so now we get into the nitty gritty. Britton, good to see you. Robert, good to see you as well. The editor-in-chief of boxing.com is Robert Exel. Now, guys, we kind of have a big fight that broke tonight. Oh yeah. Floyd Mayweather posted on his Instagram the first time that we saw it. He has agreed to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Major fight.
Yes, humongous fight. It's at the MGM Grand, September 14th, catch weight of 152. As you indicated off the air, there's no rehydration clause, so we believe, at least Britton and I do, Canelo will come in at least 170. But you also said, you know what, good for him. Did you say good for him as in the sport of boxing as a whole, or good for Floyd Mayweather stepping up to the plate and fighting someone that the people want to see?
I think it's an excellent move for Mayweather. There have been questions, not about his greatness. I think everybody assumes that he's a terrific fighter, certainly the greatest fighter of our era. But there have been questions about his competition, about his cherry picking, about this and that. This is one instance where he is really stepping it up. I mean, he is fighting really the toughest guy out there at this weight. Canelo is young, big, strong, ambitious, hits like a mule. I mean, he is a force to be reckoned with. It's also good for the sport of boxing because, it attracts attention. Mayweather is fighting very quickly after his last fight. He is stepping it up. He has sort of heard the disparaging remarks about his last opponent, and of course the pay-per-view numbers are questionable, but not through the roof. And I think both he and Showtime understand that if Mayweather is to go out with a bang and not a whimper, these are the kinds of fights he needs.
You know what? He signed that contract with Showtime, 16 months, 4 fights. Come on, he's not gonna do that. You know, he's gonna fight once every year and a half. He doesn't have to live up to Showtime's contract, but it appears that he might. I mean, initial reaction, mine was pretty stellar. Britton, what was yours?
The first thing I said was, oh shit. Obviously, when Floyd steps in the ring, there's that attraction there always, but fighting someone
biggest fight of the decade, though?
No, I said one of the biggest
One
fights
of the biggest,
decade.
okay.
In a lot of people's eyes, this fight can go either way.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
And this isn't media hyping someone up to say, oh man, he's fighting this guy who hasn't lost this many years. He's a world champion. He's Floyd's mandatory, this or that. This is someone who Floyd has to be sharp for, and Floyd knows it.
Let's sort of play each role. Robert, you'll take Canelo. Britton, I'll give you Floyd Mayweather. Let's start with you. How exactly do you beat Canelo Alvarez?
What is fair to assess about Canelo Alvarez is that he's incapable of fighting a full 3 minutes of a round.
In the middle rounds?
Towards the middle. He usually starts slow, and I think it's because he probably walks around at about 175, 180, and he cut so much weight to make weight for 154. I think that he knows that he has to pace himself in the early rounds. So he usually doesn't come out smoking. He usually, fights behind his jab. He may throw, 2 or 3 hard punches in the first 3 to 4 rounds, because he knows that he has to pace himself. Now, come the middle rounds, he tends to slack off. He'll either fight the first minute and a half or the second minute and a half. And I think that aside from Floyd just being a master boxer, him having to overcome Floyd's just physical chess skills in the ring, he's gonna have to really work on his conditioning. So to beat Canelo, Floyd is going to have to be a master boxer. He's gonna have to watch out for those big swinging wide uppercuts, those big overhand rights. Obviously that straight right that I think won't be such a problem for Floyd, but he's gonna have to outbox him, and he's gonna have to press the action when he thinks that Canelo was taking the round off.
I believe that Canelo will sort of press the issue a little more. Obviously, on the conditioning standpoint, I would have to think that Floyd Mayweather is better on the conditioning game, and he proved it in his last fight against Guerrero. I was thinking in, 10, 11, 12, where's he going to be?
Yeah.
He kept moving. He kept sticking Guerrero and moving. He didn't really take a round off. So, Robert, let's just play the hypotheticals. If you are Canelo Alvarez, how exactly do you beat Floyd Mayweather?
It's not going to be easy. He's going to have to cut off the ring if he can. He's going to have to try to pin Mayweather to the ropes if he can. He's going to have to land his hardest punches if he can. But again, he's going up against a master boxer. It's not going to be easy for Canelo. We know what his strengths are, and they are power, that come forward. He's sort of an imposing presence. He's going to be weighing at whatever he weighs after he rehydrates, which is going to slow him down. It's not going to speed him up. And Mayweather has proven that he does have a chin. He doesn't get hit often, but when he does, he takes it.
Would you say that Mayweather has faced a guy with this much power, with this much youth in his career?
Mayweather he's an exceptional athlete. He's an exceptional talent. And that power is only of value if it hits its target. As you know, Mayweather is an incredibly elusive target. Not as elusive as he used to be, but a very elusive target. And Canelo has never really fought anybody like Mayweather for the simple reason that there is nobody like Mayweather for him to fight.
How exactly did Ortiz and Cotto land those shots on Mayweather like we've never seen him get hit before?
So the hardest I've ever seen Floyd hit was in a fight against Chop Corley, Shane Mosley. Victor Ortiz touched him up a little bit, but nothing severe. And of course, Miguel Cotto.
He hit him enough to raise your eyebrows a little bit.
He definitely did. Yeah. He definitely caught my attention with some of the shots. Shane Mosley used misdirection. He made Floyd think that he was going to go to the body, came up top, and he was quick enough to do it. Chop Corley got close enough to Floyd, and he was a southpaw, so that gave him trouble, but he was still quick enough to do it. Cotto got on the inside, but he threw his combinations with speed. Canelo Alvarez is not only powerful, but he throws punches and combinations. He fights behind the jab, which you absolutely need to beat Floyd Mayweather. You need to fight behind the jab. You need to stick to it consistently. And, you know, that's why the Oscar De La Hoya fight was so close, and I'm sure Oscar has given Canelo as many pointers as he can. Now, Floyd has only fought at 154, 150, above 147, I'll say, twice. Yeah. And both times they were competitive fights, one against Oscar, one against Cotto. And I think that those extra 3 or 4 pounds, although it seems like nothing in boxing, pounds mean a lot.
And I think that might actually go against him in this fight.
Floyd or Canelo?
Floyd. Because you know what? If he gets hit a few times to the body, if Canelo can't get in there exactly, or he lands one to the face of Mayweather, it's going to catch him by surprise. That's a lot of power behind those punches.
I mean, because and what a lot of people don't understand is that Canelo isn't going to come into the fight at 152. Canelo is going to come into the fight weighing at least 170.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Floyd has ever fought anyone that big. When Floyd is fighting at 154, he's usually not as quick as we see him. You know, he was fighting relatively flat-footed against Cotto, and he wasn't as fast early as he usually was at that young age, especially against Oscar. So I think that when he gets above that 150 mark, I think that extra weight tends to weigh on him as well.
The final verdict. Robert Exel, the editor-in-chief of Boxing.com, what say you?
I would have to say Mayweather by decision.
Okay, Britton?
I'd agree. I say Mayweather by decision.
Early prediction, I'm taking Canelo. I'm taking Canelo, 9th round stoppage. I know, it's shocking. It could change. It could change once we get down to fight time. I'm telling you, a few months out. It's in September. We're now in late May, not even June. My early prediction, until I see the training camp footage and they air that Showtime shit, I'm taking Canelo, 9th round stoppage.
This guy's crazy.
Who? Me?
You.
Whatever. It is what it is.